didn't see a craft service table this time around, and I got over it because maybe that means that the suits upstairs think that maybe the show won't keep going.
No, don't talk about that, okay?
Oh,
we're gonna be fine. Just, where's your juice box?
Maybe they don't have the juice boxes anymore.
Hey Jeff, can we get more light on Brittany's? You know how she likes to be lit, so. Okay, that's looking good.
It's dark over.
What? You guys,
Carrot's
now?
dark. It's dark on this.
Okay.
Ow.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, yeah, no, I'm on it. Okay, good. Well, hold on, I gotta do this thing.
Oh, you got a little bit of fluff. You got some fluff on you. Yes, I got it for you, Carrot. Does it sound in tune? Like it sounds in tune, right?
What?
Carrot? that sound.
It sounds great, Caitlin. I'm really stressing out right now, so.
Can I help at all? Or?
Why don't you, play a song. Play a nice calming ditty. So.
Here we are, we're gonna get fired. What?
I think we're good. Does that work?
Work for what?
Caitlin, you're gonna have to pick a side. You gotta decide what side you're gonna stand on.
Stand on it. Okay.
No, not in the middle.
Not. Yeah, that would be distract. Across from the host. So.
Yeah.
Across from.
I'm not sure. It's not a matter of life and death, or it is. I don't know. We gotta start. Let's do this. Okay. Guys, welcome! Yay! How's everybody doing? Excited for the Tipfield Hour? Right. Matt and Brittany are super excited to have you guys. Anybody from out of town? Nobody! Awesome. Okay, a couple rules before we get started. Cue cards. You guys know what cue cards are? Yeah, pretty easy. If I put up a word, you're gonna. You guys are amazing. Maybe if you saw something lovey-dovey or a puppy. Oh my God! You guys have got this. Okay, another thing too that I'm gonna go over, but I probably don't have to because you guys are big fans of the show. When Brittany says hat tips, we're of course gonna say, "We're so lucky to have you." Yeah, you guys know this already. We didn't even need a cue card, but we decided to use one anyway. Oh, we got a message from the green room. Matt and Brittany are gonna say hello to you. Sometimes they do this from backstage to get the audience all hyped. So let's go to a video and see what's happening back there.
You're not trying enough. I just need you to try harder. Matthew, I need you to try a little harder. Give a little more. Are you even listening to me?
Uh-huh.
I want a cup of corn. 2 salt packets. A little bit of butter.
For right now.
No, Bailey, for after the show.
Okay.
Shit! What am I paying you for?
Okay. Let's cut away. Let's cut away right now. And,
We don't need to cut this.
They obviously don't know we're filming them, so no big deal. What just happened?
Fuck! Whose child is that?
Oh yeah.
From the grin upon your face to the mixed up things you say, oh, you drive me crazy. From the stupid way you dance to your new expressive dance, oh, you drive me mad. And the way you leave your fingerprints on everything you touch, and the way you make me feel like I am talking way too much, and I feel like I simply made me finally have enough. Oh.
so much for coming tonight.
Also for being here.
Yeah!
Woo!
Thanks again. You may have noticed there's some changes with the show. Brittany and I are no longer together, so that's a big one.
Aw, no, none of that. We are just so excited that you guys could be here tonight. We are so thankful to you, the fans, the hat tips. Stop it! You're going too much. But seriously, we love you guys so much. We would not have made it through this hiatus had we not had your continual support. So truly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. We might not be a couple anymore in the way that, like, we go to like family reunions, share a house, a shared bank account, go to weddings, spend Christmas
All things
together.
we did.
Yes, that is true. But in a way, we're so much stronger and we're so much more than that. We're partners on a television show.
Just like we've always been.
And everything is as it's always been.
Clearly not everything.
Caitlin's here. Caitlin?
My side.
Our band leader.
Oh God, I was scared.
All right, this brings us to our first segment of the night, what we did while on hiatus. Yeah, we're supposed to say that together.
Thought we weren't doing things together anymore.
It is just a hoot. All right, well, I'll start. So I'm going to be completely honest, real, and vulnerable with you guys. First, this hiatus was super hard for me. Like, I was really struggling, but thankfully, I was really able to connect with you guys through social media and find my hashtag Gypsy Soul and really awake. So namaste to all y'all. The first part of my hiatus I spent trekking through the wilderness. Why, here's me at the Grand Canyon. After a little bit of time in the grueling outdoors, I decided to take my spirit abroad. Here's a picture of me eating, praying, and certainly loving my way through. Next up, I went, and on my final trip, I ended up in London, doing a little bit of community service. Here I am eating a crumpet. All in all, this vacation taught me so much about myself. It taught me that no matter what I go through, and no matter where I go in this world, I will always have me. The only person I needed to find was myself. Thank you guys so much for your continued support and sharing your own journeys with me with the hashtag #FindYourself. I sure did find myself. Now let's see what Matt did.
So, spent my Thanksgiving break rewatching Malcolm in the Middle. Underrated show. I learned how to cook rice and beans. That's what that is.
Yum.
There's drinking. Drinking.
Okay.
Drinking.
Still doing it.
I'm not sure what I'm doing there. Just staring off, I guess. I was working on my solo career. That went well. And I have a cat now.
Such a good vacation.
Great break.
Oh, wow. That was fun. Our next segment is one of my favorite segments, and it's one I hope we'll continue to be doing forever.
Are we still doing this?
Of course, we owe it to the fans. I mean the hat tips.
We're so lucky to have you.
I just don't think it's appropriate anymore.
All right, this one is called Tipton Tips. Real love advice from Matt and Brittany. Thanks, guys. Our first letter comes from Randall in Maple Leaf. Dear Matt and Brittany, I have a question that I feel like only you guys can help with. Aw. What do you do when your partner is significantly more attractive than you? My wife is way out of my league, and it's really affecting my confidence. Obviously, you guys have experience as a couple where one half is incredibly hotter than the other. So I'm just wondering, how do you deal with all the questions, looks, and whispers behind your back by people wondering how the heck this happened? People always assume she has terrible self-esteem or that I saved her life in a fire or something. Because why else would she hang out with me? I'd love to hear how you guys deal with this. Sincerely, Randall. P.S. Regardless of how distractingly unattractive one of you is, I love you guys and your show. You are the perfect couple. And I honestly don't think my marriage would have survived without your shining example of how a real, meaningful relationship stands the test of time. Randall! I guess I didn't mention that most of these were sent in snail mail before the hiatus. But we'll still read them anyway.
So Carrie, you didn't screen those? You should screen the letters next time.
I do have advice. I have.
Of course you do.
All right, our next letter comes.
No, you're gonna address it. Which one's more attractive?
I don't want to answer that question. Matt.
But
I
we
think
know.
you're a
We know.
beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
I think you're a beautiful man.
I'm a beautiful man.
Who has so much on the inside
Okay.
that just reflects on the outside. Okay. Caitlin.
We're so happy to have you.
Our next question comes from Katie in Ballard. Ooh. Dearest Brittany and Matt, thank you for showing me what love should look like in the truest and most eternal form. What an example the two of you have set for the rest of us. Katie, thank you. When we bumble through our romantic endeavors, you glide effortlessly into each other's arms, naked. Whenever my own romantic trysts have failed, I have always stopped to ask myself, what would Brittany with her witching looks and Matt with his full-bodied curls do? They're pretty good, Matt. So I turn to you now as an admirer with a very important question. I am currently in a wonderful relationship with a man fellow whom I love. Isn't that just the greatest? You guys get it. Anyways, before I met my current lover, I dated someone in the sketch comedy world, and then we broke up. I'm so sorry. Mutually. Okay. On camera, he's the worst. But we had a ton of mutual friends, and we still had to see each other all the time. I can't imagine you know what that's like. Let me try to explain this in a way that you'll understand. Imagine seeing someone on the regular who used to be inside of you. Now, if you're reading this, then this sentence doesn't apply to you. Or maybe it does. I don't know what you guys think. It was fun. We would run into each other everywhere. Sometimes we would even have to rehearse together. Can you imagine? Of course not. Your love springs eternal. Anyways, I would always dread seeing him because my heart would do this confusing flip-flop and I would want to touch mouths with him and simultaneously jump punch him and scream shout for 1,000 years. Can you even imagine that? No, of course not. I bet you're going to feed strawberries into each other's gaping mouths. So anyways, my question is, how do you deal with running into someone who you used to love? How do you handle seeing someone who used to light your candle and now lights your rage fire? As always, thank you for your wisdom and romantic guidance. Love you both. Katie, we love you too. Huh. Matt, you can take this one.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you...
It's
you
too.
handle it?
Yeah.
You don't. You just let it eat you up inside until you're a husk of what you used to be.
But keep trying. 'Cause you can do it.
Caitlin! Well, we're not giving any answers here. Give an answer.
I don't go to bed angry.
Never go to bed angry. Never. All right.
No, we're done. We're done. I don't want to do that anymore. Our first guest is a former star of the Tiny Baby Talk Show, local comedian. You can now see him in Town Hall. Please welcome Daniel Cano!
What's up, guys? How are we? Stay on? It's not on? Should I just talk at you? We're close to one another. I'm gonna hold the mic like a blanket for safety, but just know I don't fucking need it. How are you guys? I asked you that. Ooh. How long? I gotta ask. How long did it take you to figure out you gotta sit that way, where you turn it?
It took some work.
Like multiple times you tried to sit at it like it's normal, right?
Yeah, what is normal?
Well, I guess it's a square table, so it matters
all
less.
sides are right.
For a while, I lived in a studio apartment in Sacramento, California, and the only piece of furniture I had was a table almost identical to that one. For like 6 months. It was like a long time. And I ate for like a month before figuring out you could turn it sideways to sit more comfortably. And it was a sad month. It was a weird month. It's weird to have you guys partially behind me.
What?
It's very strange. That apartment, it was weird not having furniture. It was very strange. One time it was laundry day, and I cleaned up and did laundry, and I forgot to take all of my laundry out of my washer and dryer. And it was the one time in the entirety that I lived in Sacramento that I brought a girl home with me. And she came home to my already creepy apartment, very terrifying apartment, with my Murphy bed down, no sheets on it because it was laundry day. And we walked in, there's nothing else in my apartment, just a Murphy bed. She opens the door and immediately turns around and earnestly asks, "Are you going to kill me?" Like she meant it. Definitely. And in the moment, all I was impressed by how calm she was. She was like, "Are you gonna kill me?" Like, just like how you would ask someone, like, "Is it raining out?" That was the same tone of voice. I didn't kill her, relax. This is a good, there's holes in this pair of
It's
pants,
great.
huh? My bad. You guys wear pants until they're arguably not pants anymore? Y'all do that?
Yep.
This one, there's holes in both of my pockets. I can't wear them anymore because I put my phone in my pocket and a second later it's inside of my shoe. It's pretty good. You guys should do it. I highly recommend it. Now I feel like I'm abandoning you guys. Alright, you guys are getting jokes like this. Guys, the second most embarrassing book that I own. The second most embarrassing book that I own is a book called How to Rap. It's a pretty good book. You should pick it up. The most embarrassing book I own is a book called How to Rap 2. The Art of Being an MC. It's not a good book. The second one's very bad. The first one, it's okay. It's fine. It's like, here's how you rap. You rhyme, and also there's music. The second book is just a list of facets of rap music followed by a bunch of quotes from professional rappers. So, like, example, it's like, the first chapter will be like, wordplay, and then it's 6 pages of various rappers. It'll be like, Ghostface Killah says, in quotes, I like wordplay. Rakeem says, in quotes, wordplay is very important to me. Jay-Z says, please get out of my limo. See, you make it smooth. That's what happens when you make a mistake. You just roll with it. I hope that was a genuine realization. I said you make it smooth, and he went, ah, and like I know he was, like I'm aware you were doing a bit, but I like the reality where you're like, oh, that makes so much more sense. Every time I fuck up, I call attention to it. You just make it seem like it was on purpose. Guys, I went home recently. Have you guys ever forgotten that your parents are bigots? Like, you forget. You're away long enough that you're like, what sweet human beings. Like, they raised me from a little baby, and they're so nice. And then you go home, and your dad does a very offensive voice that you can't tell who it's supposed to be, which is somehow more offensive. Like, if you're gonna be a dick, at least, like, let me know who you're supposed to be, you know? I want in on the bit that I disapprove of. It's fun. I went home, I got a bunch of clothes while I was home, like just old clothes that my family had from when I was growing up. I got like, my mom just handed me like a stack of stuff. She was like, pick through it, whatever it is, whatever you want, it's yours. And I kept being like, this is rad. I'd put it on, I'd be like, oh, where'd this come from? She'd be like, oh, that was your dad's, and that was your dad's, and that was your dad. And it was all just too big for me. And then I found this shirt, and I put it on, and I was like, this is fucking dope. When did Dad get this? And she's like, no, that's my shirt. I was like, gotta be honest, still a little too big for me. I, no joke, have a sweater now that I figured out as I was leaving. I was like passing a wall and I saw a picture and I was like, is that the sweater I just took? And my mom was like, yeah. And I was like, what year is this? She was like, oh, that was your sister's 8th grade picture, I think? It fits like a fucking glove. All I'm saying, me and my sister in 8th grade trying to hit on the same person, I'm walking away with that person. Mostly she was just a dork in 8th grade. You know, she didn't get cool till 9th. How long am I doing?
You're doing great.
Okay, cool. I'm fine to go for a while. I just didn't want...
Yeah.
Both of you are staring at me very expectantly.
I'm just watching you.
Cool. That makes sense. You're behind me, so it feels judgy. But that doesn't mean that it is. It's just... You know how it is. Anytime you're walking and someone's behind you, you're like, oh, I bet they're thinking a lot of shit about me, huh? It's fun going home. My parents they are lovely people for where they're from. They're from bad places, and so their level of bad's actually pretty impressive. You know what I mean? Where you like do the context math, you're like, oh, you're alright, you're doing okay. You're not great, for sure, but you're gonna die in 30 years and then you can't vote, so I'll just cross my fingers till then. It's weird going home. My parents, they're religious and I'm not. I'm an atheist. And my parents don't know that I'm an atheist. Because why would I tell them that? What, am I going to bring that up and have that discussion? That's awful. That's a terrible discussion. Like, worst case scenario, me and my parents argue for an hour, and then at the end of it, we hate each other for the rest of the trip. Best case scenario, me and my parents have a very calm, very reasonable discussion in which I convince them that they're never going to see their dead friends again. Like, that's best case. This would be like, yeah, you know Chris? Sorry, dude. I see, you give a name to the victim of death. And suddenly you guys are like, oh, they know people who've died. Yeah, they're like 80. It just seems that, I don't know, when you're not religious, or I guess when you are religious, like you get to think of death as like something cool. Like death is like moving to fucking Hawaii or something, you know? And it like kind of sucks because they don't have cell service, so you guys aren't gonna talk for like 30 years. But it's okay, because then one day you're gonna move to Hawaii and then you'll fucking play the hell out of some beach volleyball. Shit'll get cool. But then when you lose your religion, it's a lot less like moving to Hawaii, and more like you're no longer a person or a concept. And that's a mean thing to convince someone of when they're this close to moving to Hawaii. Like their bags aren't packed, but they've been reading that travel guide most of their life. You know what I'm saying? I'll do one more, and then I'll sit down. Usually that sentence is, I'll do one more and then get out of here. And I was like, nah, I gotta sit on a fucking couch. For the record, which couch is better? Alright, well, we'll see who laughs hardest at this bit. What if this is an unfunny bit? I built this shit up. Guys, I'm a pretty sweet guy. No surprise there. You're looking at me, you're like, sweet guy. Maybe you're not. But now you definitely aren't. But regardless, I am. I'm sweet. I like to think of myself as sweet. Example, spooning. I'm big on it. It's pretty sweet, right? Pretty sweet. It gets sweeter, though, because I like to be the little spoon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like her to be the other little spoon, because that's how you put silverware away! Are you fucking kidding me? Little spoon on big spoon? Get out of here with that horse shit! Can I help with dishes, Dan? Not after that, Karen. Not after that. You guys are a shit ton of fun, and this show's fucking rad. Thank you guys so much! Sorry.
It's fine. We're just one show. We're happy with this.
One more time for Daniel O'Connell! Daniel,
Hi.
how are you feeling?
Pretty good. I forgot an interview was happening.
Yeah, we're gonna talk for just a little bit.
Of course, I bet.
So how you doing? Things are great.
Yeah, things are pretty good.
So you just finished Tiny Baby Talk Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why?
What is Tiny Baby Talk Show? For people who might not know what Tiny Baby Talk Show
Everybody
is.
knows what Tiny Baby.
Everybody knows what Tiny Baby Talk Show is. Correct, guys?
I think you should say.
I love the idea of me being like, right, guys, and then one person being like, woo woo. Yeah, we're in on this. Tiny Baby Talk Show. It's a web series that I used to be involved in. Me and another guy did it for like 2 years, and it started out as a genuine attempt to do a talk show. And then like 3 months later, we were like, fuck all this improv bullshit. We're gonna write this. And then we did, and it was very bad for a couple months. But then it got pretty good, so you guys should watch it. It's on YouTube.
I'm in an episode.
You are?
Is it the best episode you've ever done?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Let me rephrase. Am I the best guest you ever had?
Also a good question. I'm gonna say top 12 for sure.
Nice. I don't care if I'm number 12. That's awesome.
Cool.
You're the best guest we've had since being back from hiatus. Anyway, Daniel, so Town Hall. Give us a little, what's that?
So Town Hall is it's a show. Me and the person who I did Tiny Baby with, we
Daniel DeRoche, you can say his name here.
I prefer not to. We do a show along with a couple other people, Maddie Downs and Ryan Casey. No, it's fine. They don't deserve applause. It's fine. It's fine. We're very forceful this show. We're like, applaud for us! We do a show, essentially we start with a theme to tell stories around, and we invite audience members to come up to tell stories. And we stream the whole thing on Periscope, which is like an app where you can film it on your phone and the other people can watch it while it happens. And you can call in on Skype, and it's very silly and very fun. And one time the theme was goodbyes, and we ended by talking about JFK conspiracies. So, pretty good.
Cool. That's so cool.
So, if you had the chance to eternal sunshine of the spotless mind me,
Yes.
would you?
Which character are you?
I'm sorry, that question was for Brittany.
You are too much. Now, Daniel, what does
Now,
Daniel
answer the question,
O'Connell like
Brittany.
to do in
Now,
his
answer the
spare
question. If you could undergo a procedure in which I would be erased from your memory, would you do that? Am I your Jim Carrey to your Kate Winslet?
Matt, this is wildly inappropriate.
So is changing the opening theme without telling me.
I thought we could use a jazzy little tune.
So, Daniel,
Yeah.
weigh in on this. If you had a successful talk show with a significant other,
Right.
and you broke up,
Yes.
disconnected, and your significant other decides she wants to change the opening theme, she should probably talk to you about that first, right?
Matt, this is a scenario that he can in no way relate with.
No. Are you saying that Daniel isn't capable of having a successful talk show with a romantic partner?
No, I'm not saying. Daniel, you're very, very talented.
Thank you.
You can go ahead and answer that question.
Yeah. Would you?
Great answer. Our next guest is a local improviser with Jet City Improv. You can also catch him around town performing with his sketch improv duo, Death and Taxes. He also has a podcast called The Seattle Files. Whoa, how does he find time to do all these things? Everyone welcome Chris Allen!
Sit here in the interest of symmetry.
Oh,
Very good to see.
Good to see you. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I am doing pretty awesome.
You're
We're back.
much higher up than me.
Yeah. Anyway, so Chris, how long have you been doing? Oh, this is Daniel, by the way. Yeah. Aw, so fun. How long have you been doing improv?
10 years or so, somewhere around in there.
Improv's scary, because like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, what got you into it?
I started out doing stand-up, and then I've done theater my entire life, and then from stand-up got into improv.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
a really interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much. So that's how I met, actually. I was your improv teacher like
He was my
6 years ago or so.
improv
Yeah.
teacher. Yeah. I guess you guys are all lucky to have him because you wouldn't have me. I don't know. Anyway, Chris, so now you've been doing improv for a long time, and now you're venturing into sketch world with Death and Taxes.
Yes.
What's the thing with Death and Taxes? What brought you to want to do that, or what brought you to why are you doing this?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I like Graham Downing is my comedy partner, and so he and I just have similar goals as far as what we want to do, and so
Okay.
we started collaborating and we started writing, and from that, Death and Taxes was
right.
born.
Cool.
So.
But what I think everyone here wants to know, Seattle Files, what's
Yes.
that about?
Seattle Files is a podcast that I do. I'm a local historian. I work at the Underground Tour for my day job. And so the Seattle Files is where I get together, it's a podcast where I get together with local comedians and I teach history to comedians.
Yeah.
And so then we riff on it, and it's hilarious. It's wonderful.
Super funny, guys.
Yeah, so every episode there's a different topic, and I teach people things about local history, and then there is humor to it. Yeah.
I have an idea.
Oh.
Give us a little taste of history, a little nibble. I wanna know. Give us a little story.
Okay. You know how downtown traffic is awful? Yeah.
And it's getting worse.
Yeah. So you know how the streets in Seattle don't really line up when you go downtown, when you go to Yesler Way and when you hit Denny, things arc? The reason for that is in 1851, when the first white settlers came out here and claimed areas from the Donation Land Claim Act, which we all know about. But different people claimed different lands, and so each one of those turns is a different land claim because nobody agreed on which way the street should run.
Oh.
So on the south side of town,
Brittany claimed different friends. Brittany has the friends.
They were my friends first, and so I took them. And just because most of your friends chose to still be friends with me, doesn't mean.
So down south of Yesler was David Swinson Maynard's claim, and then the Denny's and the Borans are north of that, and then north of Denny were the Mercers' claims. So each one of those is a different hook, which is why the streets don't line up. Because everybody just built streets the way they wanted them to go, and then years later they tried to straighten them out, but it didn't work too well. So that's why you can't get around downtown, because in 1851 a bunch of white people got into an argument.
So it's like they were kept trying to make something work, but it just never could work.
I don't think they tried that hard, actually. I think they could have tried a lot harder. They gave up pretty easily on what they were attempting, and really if they would have just talked to each other, talked to each other about what's wrong, things might have worked out. And
If there's an analogy here, I'm not getting it.
Communication is the key to happiness. Anyways, guys, Chris Allen, everybody.
We have one more guest.
No, we don't.
Yes,
That's our
we
last
do.
guest.
No, we do.
No, there's Daniel and there's Chris.
No, I think I know when I book a guest. I'm not drunk all the time.
You could have fooled us, huh? All right. Who is this other guest you speak of?
Our next guest is a local free trade organic chocolatier who enjoys learning about cheese and YouTubing acceptance speeches. You may recognize her from her hit sketch comedy show, 8 Hour Employment. Please welcome Brittany's former roommate, Molly Teller! So Molly, has she always done the weird babbling thing?
Just when she's drunk or hungry.
Or tired, excited, worried, or watching The Americans?
Okay. It's 2 Russian spies forced to live in America. They're together, but they're so alone. And lies. What is there not to love about that, Matthew? Molly, why are you sitting next to Matt?
This is a long time coming, Brett.
So, Molly, how long have you known about Brittany's tendency to be kind of a mean person?
Well, quite a while.
I missed it for the first 2 years.
I as well, Matt.
I as well. I mean, Brittany initially won me over with her, her brightly colored beanies and her feminine yet strong bro tanks and her major affinity for Trader Joe's brand chicken sausage.
That is her defining characteristic.
Yeah.
I hate it for you, Mr. I don't eat things that nurse their young. It's not a mammal.
I don't eat things with feelings, present company included.
Sick burn, Matt!
I don't get it.
It was a sex joke. You'll understand later.
Everyone knows I was a late bloomer, Matt.
You were a late bloomer?
Yeah.
Oh, what about those poor, unassuming, fresh from youth group freshmen at SPU, huh?
I don't know what you're talking
All they asked was where the studio theater was, and you told them that in order to graduate, they had to form a pregnancy pact. They were all due by June, they had to drop out. We didn't have enough women for steel magnolias.
Molly, I was teaching them about the real world.
You were being the unintentional bitch.
This is good. We're on a roll. Talk more about Brittany.
And then there was the time that I was on the first date with this guy, and he was really cute and he was really sweet. And we were getting along so good, and then Brittany...
Molly, you guys were talking about sexual innuendo in Shakespeare.
Really cool.
He invited me. Am I missing something? Threesome for sure, right?
Okay, yeah. And then he went on a 3-week coke binge, and I had to file a missing persons report. I told my mom about him.
Okay, I think this is all just a really, really big misunderstanding. I take responsibility for my actions. Like, I take responsibility for giving him the coke and the keys to your Jetta and telling him to go to the desert and find himself.
The next time I saw him, he had a French braid and called himself Plateau.
And that
I don't know. I just feel like ever since college, nothing's really gone right. What, you gonna look at me? Okay, look at me, look at me.
I can't
Look at my eyes, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't look at me! Look at me! You know exactly what you're doing, okay? And it's not funny anymore. Every time you make fun of Meryl Streep, you're making fun of me too. You're gonna take your fucking Matrushka dolls out, you're gonna keep pelting them at me. Look at the deals I do on your salary! You know what?
I hate Helen Mirren and her Super Bowl ads.
Okay, yeah, she heard that because she's omnipotent. The point is, I'm done. I'm best friends with Matt now, okay? We have dreams together and we share each other's lives together, okay? I know that at the end of the day, all Matt wants is to own a little juice shop out in the Yakima.
Juice shop.
And all I want is to own a paint and sip cafe next door. So we can have protein in the morning and creativity at dusk. Our dreams! So you know what? That's it, okay? My bags are packed. I'm done. I'm moving to Magnolia with Matt.
Way to go, Matt.
Fine.
You know what?
That's fine. I don't care. I mean, it makes literally no sense that you would move to Magnolia. You have to walk across the street to get to work every day living at my place. My couch is very comfortable, and I pay your rent and cook you food.
I hate the Americans.
Shred.
You know what? No. Clear eyes, full hearts. We can't let it. Friday night. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Matt hates football.
I do! Mostly I don't understand it.
Yeah. I even Tinder for him now. Give me your phone, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen,
like an OK Cupid
we gonna
kind
take
of
it from
guy.
Matt. Pull it up. All right, Daniel, Chris.
Yeah.
Come on up here. All right.
This is
I don't know how to
silly.
work this thing. Make it work. Gonna find you a lady. She gonna be sexy. She's gonna be so much sexier than you. Get up here, guys! Alright, so we open the boarding's nice. It looks like she's wearing a choker, but we'll make do with it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Go for
Solid yes.
I'm sure she's really great.
It's not a match. It's gonna be okay though. Just sit down. Why don't you sit down? Oh, Amy looks promising. What do you think, Chris?
Yes.
Hipster glasses.
Hipster glasses. Oh yeah, like glasses you can take home to your mom, right? You never wanted two glasses. No one wants to involve you in this, Brittany. Keep
I
going.
really
Should we
think
match it?
I think I could find him a lovely lady.
It's not a match. Again, it's not.
It's okay, we'll get there.
It's gonna happen.
I want to see.
Yeah? No? No, don't let Brittany in.
You guys, let me see. I want
Yeah,
to.
box out.
I want to see.
No one wants to let you in on this, okay?
Molly, let me see.
Nope, we're still Tindering.
Molly,
Okay.
let me see. Get off my stage. Get off my stage.
Meryl and
This
Helen
is
heard
my
you.
show.
Meryl and Helen heard
Get
you.
out of here. Get.
Don't read my show.
Get out. Everyone get off the stage. Get off the stage. Fucking phone. You know what? You know what? You know what? Now is when you decide you want to talk about this. I've been available to you for the past like fucking 5 months, and this is when you want to talk about this? In front of all of our friends and family on national fucking TV, Matt? This is time? This is your time?
You've been available?
Yep.
Everything, maybe I don't want to talk to you. Maybe just the sight of you hurts. That, like, I just fucking want to hate you so much. And that you just keep up this, like, happy, everything's great act. And none of that really mattered. I'm better now. And maybe I just want you to feel a fraction of what I felt, even if it's just making snarky comments on national television. You were the best and worst thing that ever happened.
And I'm sorry. And I miss you. And I genuinely do care about you. But I've taken this time to figure out what I really wanted. And I took this time to figure out who I really was. And I can't be here for you anymore. I'm not your rock anymore. So that's been our show, everybody! Thank you all so
Imagine me and you, I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold you tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, so ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.